All right. So, okay, here we go. So if you could just stay right there and I can take a picture of this moment, and all we gotta do, say Fuzzy Pickles on 3, okay? Fuzzy Pickles. 1, 2, 3.
Earthbound. It's no secret that this 90s RPG got way more popular far after its release because this game stinks. I hope you get the reference. See, it may have been because of poor advertisement, but it's okay because I guess people just hate jokes. This RPG alone has inspired many great games to come after it. I'm not gonna list all of them. You can just see a cool list floating by. But it's mainly because for its zany dialogue, incredible bizarre characters, and immersive world building that it gives you. You can do a lot of fun things like beat up hippies, riding on the same bus as the Blues Brothers. Each one of these mole enemies claiming they're the third strongest member of the crew. Your arch nemesis pooping randomly in the desert. This game literally starts off with a little fly being the strongest being in the world coming to you and getting killed by a fly swatter. How could you not giggle at any of this? I think there's a few things that stick out to me while playing this game, such as the 90s Western culture. It portrays it amazingly. Eagledale, which is the North American representation of this game, is the country home of Ness and Paula. The starting town of Onet is 1-for-1 on a small suburban town with a drugstore, the arcade, hospital, and a few other random buildings throughout it. It's surrounded by large plains and hills, much like you would see in the west side of the US like Washington. And then you have Tucson, which is the home of Paula, directly south of Onet, and it kind of represents that with its old western vibes and architecture that kind of look pretty similar to Texas or even more of Arizona. And of course, Happy Village is a small southern town that has dangerous cults. Does that remind you of anything? Breed has the classic carnival feel from American states in the Midwest, and also has the fun zombie theme that we are so obsessed with. And finally, oh beautiful Forsyth, which is an amazing representation of New York City, Manhattan. Because nothing screams America like New York. You get a strong understanding that the Japanese workers of Nintendo get a good sense of what American culture is in the 90s. Not many games do a well portrayal of what America is like, especially from an eastern side of the hemisphere. And I'm proud to say, even though I was born in '99, that it really does feel like America. And even though this isn't a city in this country of Eagledale, we go into my favorite location, Summers. To start off, it has a nice, relaxing, warm vibe that contrasts its sister city, Winters. Winters represents the UK, ill, gross, but Summers represents even more stinkier and gross, France. People here just want to vibe and enjoy their vacation, and everything's expensive. This is the type of place I'd love to be because I'd spend everything I own in 1 week and then get back to going to work because my bank account is drained. Please play for this video, YouTube. And south of Foggyland, which is Europe, is Chomo, which is a great representation of Asia. It comes from our other main character, Prince Pooh.
Hi, Pooh.
Be quiet. You guys have a really cool high temple called Dahlem, which is, I don't know, Pooh has his own adventures there too. But even with these real life landmarks, this game is bizarre. These insane enemies and people you meet through these locations is something that only a child would make up. And that's the point. A place where human-faced creatures called Mr. Saturns exist, or a deep darkness where piles of barf and sea creatures come to life to attack you. Another area that's having a huge kraken that will be forced to battle you. Bro, if these kids are telling the horrors that happened to them, to their parents, no one would believe them. This is just child fiction. And that's what makes it so great. This game has you living through a kid's fantastic world and fantasy. I truly believe there are a crazy amount of things that live on Earth to this very second, and that's what makes this game so nostalgic. Even after beating this game, you have a fun, weird nostalgia, which is unmatched to any game because it is that childlike wonder. Now, for the Chosen Four, it's definitely an appropriate name for this group, as the main antagonist, Ness, was someone that I wanted to dress up as in Comic-Con. I never did, because I didn't have the costume, and I feel like it would look really weird. In my run, I felt like Paula was by far the most useful member of the group. One, literally she saves everyone at the end of the game, but two, she wields all elemental PSI powers, which is incredibly impactful in the game. So even though she wasn't here, she actually fit the archetype of a glass cannon, hits really hard. Now there's my boy Jeff. Now I'll be honest, he isn't my favorite, but he serves a great purpose by revealing the weaknesses of enemies and having them some sick rockets at them. He's the only character that doesn't have PSI powers, and that's cool. It makes him more unique that way. And Pooh. Oh, Pooh. Since he's Mr. Versatile, he had a combination of both Paula and Ness's attacking abilities, but let's be honest, he actually couldn't fight. I felt like with the gi he has, I feel like he would actually be able to do some combat with the fist, but no, he's just all psychokinetic powers. But overall, an all-around strong character and a great person to have in your team. And if you tried to heal this guy with some regular items, you are not gonna get anywhere. Speaking of combat, I absolutely adore the animations that are put within this game. I simply don't care for the lava lamp loopy background that everyone is always criticizing. This alone shows how bizarre fighting a running mushroom could be. And you're running on shrooms. Like, look at the coloring, simplistic designs of these attacks. This is pretty aesthetically pleasing in my eyes, and I'm just a sucker for these type of graphics. Truthfully, I don't think Earthbound is about a child's point of view. No, I think it's more about how one views the world at some point in their life. We all think dinosaurs are still roaming on the earth, there are sea creatures, and maybe there's aliens out there as well. That's just the point of view we've had at some point in our lives. I find that beautiful in a way, which is why I believe this game feels so nostalgic and also so calming at the same time. And the ending of the game just stops because at some point we just move on from those views of the world, whether we want to or not. But at least at some point we did view it like this.